We're episode number 58 already. It's going by fast. We have a really special guest today. In fact, I just met him yesterday, and I said, we have got to get this guy on the podcast. He's got an incredible story. We jumped on the phone yesterday for what seemed like 5 minutes, ended up turning into an hour, connected really, really fast. And he's got a great story. I figured everyone needs to hear this. But his name is Sergiy Korelov. He actually lives in San Diego, California, and he has an interior design and construction company called the Blazin Group. We didn't even talk about business that much, did we?
No. We talk about life,
We talked about life in general.
Life. Yes.
Yeah. So we talked more about life than we did business. So I had to jump off. What does this guy even do? And I looked at it. I knew I had to do something with construction, but I didn't know exactly what he did. And just the life story was incredible. So welcome to the show, Sergiy. I'm excited to have you here. I think that every entrepreneur, even person in general, needs to hear your story of where you came from, where you moved to, how you got to the United States. It's going to be an incredible one. But thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, Jonas. Thanks to everybody who is this dedicated time to listen and watch. Yeah, I'm here just to add value, have fun, get really blessed, podcast. So yeah, let's drill into it.
Awesome. So why don't you just first start out, tell us what it was like living in a different country, where you came from, your move, kind of just how you got to where you're at maybe today. I know it's going to be a long story, but it's a great one.
Yeah. So definitely a long story. But I wanna jump into quick fun part. From Ukraine, we moved to Alaska directly, and in Alaska we have a joke, right? We have to say 6 months is cold in Alaska, and another 6 months is very cold. So get ready for some cold humor. So I was made and born in Soviet Union, USSR. Can you believe this? Most of the spy movies and James Bond movies, it's about adversaries, United States of America versus USSR. So, and I was privileged to get born there. For 17 years, I was under that ideology, under this regime, under that influence. And when I was 17, just finished high school, year 1991, when Mr. Reagan and Mr. Gorbachev, they went to some agreement, and somehow, it's big deal, the huge Soviet Union empire was shattered in the 15 independent republics. So imagine United States has 50 states, and overnight, boom, everybody has different border patrols going, different business relationship, different currency. It's unheard of what kind of a mess it was. I'm just thinking about this, and I have a shivering, in my body because of the devastation influence of this powerful move, powerful decision, Iron Curtain, which have been feared by rest of the world, right? Just shattered like a glass. And now we face a new reality. And I want to stay there a little bit, because I think this is very fascinating, the moment of history, and the country which sent first person to space had no food to eat for people. You walk into the grocery store, right? And it's 1991. It's not like after World War I or World War II. It's like recent history, 30 years ago. And you walk in a store and you can buy 1 pound of salt, some vinegar, maybe matches, nothing else. No bread, no rice, no meat, no fish. You have to get special coupons from the government, like a food stamps here, right? And you have to stay in line for I don't know how many hours just to get a turn, so you get a portion of either bread or rice or something which is available for this day at a store, which is brought by some government trucks. So it was sad moment, but it inspire so much survival skills out of most of the younger generation, right? Like I said, I just finished high school. Older generation, they get completely lost and confused because all their life was planned. Imagine you have a government system of education, of pension plan, of social medicine. Everything is kind of organized for you. You got it down. So you know if you're gonna go to work, you're gonna have work to the rest of the days. You have a guarantee income, and then all of this shuttered, like I said, overnight, literally. People had the money in a bank, and money become paper, pretty much toilet paper. So it's personally touched my family big time because you was saving. My father was saving money to buy a brand new car, and it's exactly 3 months prior to this devastation we've afford to buy a new car, and it's a big deal. And Soviet Union was a big deal to have a car. It was like for every 100 families or something. It was not like available for every family. It was a big deal. And we bought this brand new car, and the demand was so huge. We sold it in a week or so, and triple cost of the purchase price. Let's say it was 30,000 rubles or dollars, and we sell it for 105,000 in a week time, just because we bought it, we brought it from the factory, and we just put it on the market and sold it. So it was just such a chaos in the country. Some people get suicidal, some people take their lives away. I'm talking about older generation, because you're saving all your money and you're putting this in the bank all your life. 70 years Soviet Union exists, and you put this money for retirement, and then boom, wake up call, your money. You save all life, and now you can buy one sausage, right? You cannot even buy a pair of shoes. You can buy some piece of bread from all your earnest savings. Yeah, so it was a moment, and I think I have to contribute and be grateful for this moment, because in me, it was such a challenge, and I took this as inspiration to be breakthrough person and go through whatever life throws at me, to build it and manage it and survive it. So should I continue?
It's a long story. It's wild. Like, yeah, keep rolling, man. That's great.
I just gonna bring myself to United States, and then you're gonna take over. And basically, the first immigration for me was from Soviet Union into Ukraine. What it means, like, again, Ukraine was always republic. Physically, I was born in Republic of Ukraine, independent republic, and now it's become independent country of Ukraine. Now you all heard about the war between Russia and Ukraine. We're not going to go there right now, but if the Jonas want us to take, maybe at the end, I will share a few cents on that. But basically, I mentally migrated. I had a kind of a new passport. I have a new birth certificate. Everything was new. You just like forced to become a new identity, new person, new entity overnight. So this was my shocking experience. And with that experience in Ukraine, I start building small business of I was good with sales, and I figured out how to buy wholesale chocolate and candies from the big outlets and bring it to the open street market and sell it by piece and make some profit. So I was doing that. Then the cell phones arrived like 25 years ago. First Ericsson, Sony, Motorola, these little guys with flip phones, if you remember those, right? And I'm like, oh, this is kind of a bigger profit because it's cost more. I can sell it for a little bit more, but it's a little bit more. So I did not have formal education in the business, but I was good with people. I love people, and I just chat with them, and I start selling phones. And in 1997, I got the honor and privilege to meet the love of my life. We've been together for over 26 years. My bride, her name is Olga. She was a student at medical university, and good celebration for her. She moved with me to United States, and about 3 years ago, she went through the residency in San Diego University, and she became a doctor, and she's practicing medicine in United States. So it's a huge accomplishment, huge success story. So I give her a lot of compliments and support for that. And in the year 1998, my first daughter was born. Her name was Eva. Yeah, and then we got a chance to participate in green card lottery. I don't know if you want to know what a green card lottery is, but
let's do it. I know it. I know about it. Let's talk about it.
So every year, United States government allows about 50,000 legal immigrants to enter through green card in the form of lottery. So the government say they throw this data in a computer, and computer randomly choosing those people.
Yeah. So in our industry, like lawn and pest control, more landscape side, but roofing, all this, they actually use a lot of these people that come over from other countries. So like a lot of people, what I'm trying to say, a lot of my friends actually use the system that the government brings in a bunch of workers
to enter the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're familiar with that process.
Yeah.
Yep.
But now you're on the other side of it. Which we never get to hear this story.
Yeah. So I'm on the other side in the sense of some clever salespeople figure out that this is a free lottery, right? They cannot sell this applications because it's free. It goes to government of United States for free. But they figure out to invite some random American. Let's call him John Smith, right? They buy him ticket. They bring him over. They use him as a bait. And they advertise in the local newspaper saying, oh, American coming to teach us. And at that time, still just past Iron Curtain few years, right? We still used to live very secluded life. We were satisfied, we were happy, good childhood, but protected, safe environment, but we still were isolated as a country. Don't think of North Korea; they completely isolated. We were more civilized. We have access to European countries and some other countries of Mediterranean Sea, and they decided to start selling tickets for this event. So they create event, they rent a big, it's a good idea for creative entrepreneurial minds. They rent a big theater and they start charging people to enter, like put it in a local newspaper, say, hey, Americans coming to teach us about green card lottery, legal way to enter United States. And there is a line of people, right? And I one of them. I used to like to read the newspapers because at that time we don't have the Google or Twitter or nothing, right? So you read newspaper, you're on top of the news chain. And I enter this and I have no desire to move anywhere. I love my country. I love my city. I was born in Simferopol, south part of Ukraine, in the Crimea, surrounded by Black Sea. It's a peninsula. And we have palm trees, believe it or not. So we had a botanic garden. So everybody think Ukraine or Russia, it's only cold climate. No, there is some very good spots, very similar to San Diego, actually. So I'm in this theater, right? And I'm listening to this story. I have no desire, but it's free. I'm taking an application. I fill it up. And about a year later, big fancy envelope with a seal of United States government on it arriving to my mailbox. And I'm like, so confused, so many emotions, excitement. I'm a winner. What am I gonna do? What's next step? So when you're waiting for something huge and big, you can, okay, someday. But when it's in your hand, it's a different story, right? And then we decided to move and take a chance. So what our philosophy was, we always can come back to Ukraine. We always, door will be open. Our friends, our relatives, our family will welcome us back. But we have open door right now, once in our lifetime, to enter the United States and see what's in store for us, what Lord God Almighty, crafted for us. And we decided to take this chance. We knew only one person. Her name was Luba, and she used to live in Alaska at the time. And we call her and say, we don't know anybody in the United States. I'm barely speaking English. By the way, I'm working on a book called From Broken English to American Dream. That's why I forgive for my non-proper grammar sometime. But hear my heart. Don't hear my words. Just hear my heart. And we agree with her to, stay for 1 month at her home in Palmer. It's Palmer and Wasilla, little two towns 40 minutes away north from Anchorage.
What month is this?
It's a March.
So it's just starting to get warm in Alaska?
No, yeah, 6 months is cold, remember? And 6 months is very cold. So we're still in the cold and between cold and dark, right? And March 21st, 2001. So 6 months before this terrible terrorist attack in New York happened. So I still enter the United States pre, TSA, pre that moment. So I got the complete freedom of United States airport. So I'm gladly experienced that moment. And we arriving, it's snow, it's cold, but its heart is trembling because we experience something new. It's so romantic. People often ask me, why do you choose Alaska? And I always joked, I used to read Jack London, and he was talking about White Thing and about Gold Rush, Klondike, and all of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is the reason I'm going. But the actual reason was because we have only one person we knew in entire 360 millions of Americans, and she lived in Alaska, and she said, okay, stay with me for 1 month. Cool part is we had a 2-year-old daughter at the time, and my wife was 7 months pregnant. By air company rules, you're not supposed to fly when you're probably off 5 months or 6 months. I don't remember exactly. But if you're 7, it's like you can deliver on the plane, so they don't like this. And somehow we were able to put this big furry coat, very popular in Russia and Ukraine, those furry coats. And we were entered the plane, everything was okay. And our first American-born son was born in May, 2 months after we arrived. I came here with $1,500 cash in the pocket. So value your cash in the pocket. I sold my apartment, I sold my car in Ukraine, pay some debts, give money to, whatever needs to be done. And I only able to salvage $1,500 cash after all my belongings.
So $1,500 US dollars?
$1,500 US dollars, yeah. So I'm entering a new life with broken English, with doesn't know what's a license, what's license, what permit, what's insurance. I don't have a word insurance in my dictionary or vocabulary.
I mean, you don't even speak English at this time.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't even can translate it because we don't have that system at that time, right? It was all government provided work, education. So it's completely different, world. I'm entering different planet. And I don't know what's a bank for. Believe it or not, we only use banks just to save money for retirement. So you just put money in, that's it. I don't have a checkbook idea. I don't have a debit card idea. I'm like, my first employer, like, which bank account we're going to deposit your first check? I'm like, what bank account? What check? I work for cash all our life, receiving cash. Every month you go to the bookkeeper, and at a big firm or small firm, and they just give you cash. So this is how it was. And here it's completely, everything is new. So romantic and wonderful. Yeah, so this is how we end up in Alaska. It was snow, cold, but people were very warm. At the time, it was approximately 650,000 used to live in Alaska, entire state, and the state is so huge. So people live few miles away from each other pretty much. And when you see human on the street or in a shopping mall or in the grocery store, everybody's waving, smiling. So it helped us to get this feeling to be welcomed in the United States. When we moved to California from Alaska, it was completely different. Competition for everything. We don't want you here. Get out of here. No parking. Cost of living through the roof. It's a different immigration story, I can say, for later. But yeah, anything else you want to ask for this trip?
For sure. So we're in Alaska, $1,500. You have a new baby born. You have, and then May you have another baby that's actually being born in America. You don't speak English. You don't know anything. How does one survive? Like, where do you even start?
Great question. So first need in the United States, you need a car, right? You don't have a public transportation, especially in Alaska. There is no public transportation except...
I feel like it'd be a snowmobile over there.
A snowmobile or machine dogs, you have those machine dogs. And I did ride. It was actually happening in Wasilla, the city where he used to live. So I did ride just elks or caribou, or just borrow from Santa Claus. Actually, there is North Pole City in Alaska, and they have a house of Santa Claus, and this is where when the kids send in mail, they go to North Pole Santa Claus residence.
Nice. So where do you, like, again, where do you start? Like, how do you, like,
Yeah, 1,500. It's exactly amount we negotiated, and we bought a car. Car was 1988 Eagle Premier. I don't know if you remember those brands, but it was kind of a mix between some French company and I believe Dodge. So you have this huge engine, like 6 or 8 cylinders, and it's very luxury car. But in 3 months, my radiator started leaking, and it just completely exploded. And I lost the engine, so I lost the car. How to start? The United States not required to help. They're gonna give you a chance to win green card lottery. Sure, you can apply for social assistant, some like I said, gas money or food stamps. And when I went to the social, not security, social administration office, meet with my case manager, and his name was Paul Reed. I remember him very well, and I'm really grateful for that man. He was a real man of service and honor. And he's like, Sergiy, you, with your size of your family, you're eligible for this, for that, for some medical card, for this, food stamps and free food from what they call them, those kind of like Salvation Army, when you go and they have some kind of a donation and you can get some. And for about 2-3 months, we were eating like that. So basically, but I come back every week. I have a checkup appointment with Paul Reed, and obviously we're taking lessons of English every day. We study English, and I told him, sir, I don't want handouts from government, from taxpayers. I want a job. I want to find a way to build myself, to prove myself, to manage and survive. Find me work. So this is my discussion with him. He looked at me with big eyes and like, Sergiy, from now on, you're my tiger. And each time I kind of come to his office, he's like, my tiger is coming. Because I show this attitude, survival, but also entrepreneurial spirit. I told him, Paul, I want to work. Find me work. And it was 2001 in the summer. He was able to lend me work at the local woodwork shop. Owner was Mark Cotter. His ancestors from Germany, and he was excellent woodworker, craftsman, and he was doing kitchens and kitchen doors and very elegant wood products. And he hired me. It was kind of like, he doesn't have too much work, but he want to help. So he hired me, and it was $15 an hour. $7.50 he was paying out of his self, and $7.50 per hour came from the government as assistant to kind of give him a boost to hire, newcomer and give me a chance. And when I start walking to his shop, Mark said to me, the owner of this shop, he said, Sergiy, you carry some kind of a presence around you. You have such an energy around you. I just want to welcome you. Just come here. Don't even work. Just be here and bring what you carry with you. And I'm like, Mark, give me work. And we start working, And my English was so bad. I remember they have big semi-truck delivering the lumber, this beautiful, cut wood boards. And I call, and actually yell, Mark, the trees are coming, or forest is coming, something like this. Trees are coming. So this was my level of communication. But I think Paul Reed, Mark Cotter, they read my heart and blessed their souls. They were first people who, and Mark Cotter helped me to open first checking account in my life in the age of 26, actually 27. I got a first, checkbook, first check card, and, this is how I start. Then Mark was not having enough work. I start looking for another work, and I become a school bus driver. It was a romantic job, I'm telling you that. So those big 40-foot long school buses, icy roads. In Alaska, you don't have a lot of paved roads. Trust me on that. The biggest highway between Palmer, Wasilla, and Anchorage is 2 lanes. It's the biggest, and it's like section, and the rest of it is just like 1 lane. And now it's more. It was 20 years ago. Now it's better roads. But at that time, I was driving kids to school, and kids giving me hard time because I don't speak English, and they took my name apart, and they say, Sergiy, gay. And they start picking on me, and I'm like, stop. And I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to calm them down. I try to be buff and tough, kind of a Russian mafia kind of a dude. It did not work out. So somehow I tell him broken English jokes, and we kind of get along. But it was kind of an experience. And then I find a third job on weekend. I was working as a adult sitter. So basically elderly people, like my person was 99-year-old. Her name was Grace. And she was such a sweet lady. We played checkers and chess with her. She liked to read the books. She was 99. And she always told me, Sergiy, stay close to Jesus. Stay close to Jesus. She was very devoted Christian. And once a week, she was taken to the local elderly facilities, and she was delivering the same message to those elderly people, say, stay close to Jesus. So it's touched my heart very big time. So this is how I survived. So basically for about a year, I was working 3 jobs. And I remember, guys, if you listen, and I remember that moment before I have credit card debt, before I have any, obligation. We bought a car for cash, right? Because this was mentality in the former Soviet Union. Everything was cash deal, right? We don't have a, banking system at the time. So everything was bought for cash. And I end up once a month, we end up with $100, like a free money. You don't have to pay bills. You don't have to pay utilities. You just have $100 to ourselves. And I take my wife, 2 kids at the time, to local Walmart. Walmart was the super mega center. It's kind of like the best mall of your town. This was a Walmart to us. At that area, there was only Walmart and Sears at that time, 22 years ago. Nothing else, all small little grocery stores and post office and, real Wild West. Yeah.
And then how long do you stay in Alaska for?
So we had a pretty full 8.5 years in Alaska. And after that, my wife, like, Sergiy, it's dark, it's cold, and we grew up in a warmer climate. And I was at age 35, and she was at age 33, and we decided to start searching for other places to live. I accomplished a lot in this 8 years. It's probably for another. I'm actually writing the book. I will put this in the book, but
absolutely.
It was, a lot of things happened in Alaska. So I did so much by the age 35. I was a planning commissioner. I was serve, people. I was full-time student. I ran a general contracting company. Before that, I started, painting company, and then I transferred into the general contractor, build houses, get awards. I was invited to be one of the board of directors for building industry of that region. At the time, I was pastor of the local church, and the pastors get so inspired by my presence. They called me catalyst because I brought so much energy to Cold Alaska. They said, we want you to be our president of Pastors Network, and it was 21 church at the time. And I said, I'm honored, flattered, but my English is so broken, I cannot be president, but I can take vice president position. So they appointed me to vice president, and we started doing some moving and shakings. We created so much influence to that area, sent some missionaries to the different regions of the world. And what was really big deal, we agree once a year, cancel our own individual church services, and have a one big, we call it One Lord Sunday. So when all of these thousands of people get together in the sports arena, trust me, all government officials want to be there. And we have a governor, past, present. We have the senators, and we have the mayors of the city. Everybody come to that meeting because it's power of unity. That's a power of collective mind and energy. So it was a good times.
So you started a painting business? Is that what you said there? The first business you ever started?
First, I was influenced by a friend who moved from Seattle. He'd been here more years than I, and he learned a trade of painting. And he come and say, Sergiy, we can make easy money. So guys, there is easy money in the painting, but you just have to be very professional and diligent. And is like, we're gonna change the colors of the walls outside and inside. He was kind of like artistic person. He liked to sing and draw and this and that. So basically, he told me that we're not gonna paint. We're gonna change the colors of the walls. Yeah, it was joy painting. company called Joy Painting, and my construction company at the time called Great Land, which is Alaska Great Land Vision. And some people give me a hard time. They say, "Why vision? So are you ophthalmologist or something?" But I just have a big vision for everything in the United States. Yeah.
So you started to accumulate a little bit of wealth there and save some money to get to San Diego?
Good question. Definitely, we built few houses. Prices in Alaska was way lower than in San Diego. San Diego, by the way, just become a most expensive city in United States, I think. We saved $60,000 at the time. It was big money at the time. It was 2008, 2009. So right where the economic meltdown happening, we have no clue because Alaska has a micro economy. You live there, you have the huge military base economy, you have an oil economy, you have a tourist, fishing, hunting. So you isolated. Here in the lower 48, we called lower 48. So we're in the lower 48, everybody, welcome. And Alaskans have their own economy there, and we decided to move in 2009. We arrived into San Diego, cost of living through the roof, and I have to find a job here. Nobody was waiting for me. There is no work, first of all. People losing houses, people losing businesses, and I'm like, something is not right. I did not plan right. I did not hear right. And I become a handyman. In San Diego, California. I was hanging mirrors. I was building playground for rich kids, backyards. And I was doing whatever to do just to buy a milk. There was a moment when I cannot buy milk. We spent the $60,000 probably in the first less than a year. So life take all of this money really fast. And I remember sitting on the beach. So for some of you, it's probably going to be helpful because we're going through some, economical, crisis in the country right now, but it's actually a global crisis. So we can talk about this probably in a different show. And I was sitting on the beach. I was looking at the beautiful ocean and the sky, and I just praying very deeply, like, I'm going to do anything I could. I cannot give up. I cannot quit. I don't have a plan B. I just have to move forward. It was quite of some time. It was my morning routine just to come to the beach, and because I have no work, I have nowhere to be, right? And I have care of the burden for four children, right? Wife, me, and yeah.
When you moved moved from Alaska to San Diego, did you have an apartment lined up? Did you have a job lined up before you came here?
Yeah. So we had a promise by one of the local organizations. So they're going to give us a part-time job and not part-time, but some kind of affordable housing to help us to start life. When we arrived here, nothing came to fruition. We spent first 8 days, Motel 6 in Escondida, a rough neighborhood, and 1 bedroom, 2 beds, no laundry, no kitchen. Yeah, so
that's a tough pill to swallow. Like I couldn't imagine.
6 of us, and but the power of this energy and spirit and faith and this resilience. I'm glad we started from my transformation from Soviet Union, shaking. I think this is was my injection of this antidote against this weak and soft life. You know what I mean? So I was really developing this tiger mentality. I have to make it. And I heard from a lot of my friends here, they said immigrants come here with a different attitude, especially first generation. Second generation, they can lose it or get it. Yeah, it's kind of like, wishy-washy. But a third generation, usually it's already kind of assimilated and don't have this drive. But my drive was kind of even from survival over there to make it. Yeah. So it's a lot of stories.
Yeah, it's already incredible. Like we're 50 minutes in, and just getting to
no way.
And we're just getting to America. I love what's going on here. And we talked yesterday about like the immigrants who come here, what the reason that they do so well, right? Like it's capitalism. Like there's no one else stopping you but yourself. So now you're just getting work, like your part-time jobs here and there. Yeah. And then how did you go from, again, being in the circumstance that you are, your part-time jobs, to go launching your first business in America?
In San Diego.
In San Diego.
I was in America. Alaska is America. Russia has a claim on it. It's our land, but it's it's purchased by Graf Stewart a long time ago. Being handyman, I know that I can't survive. I can't make enough money for the family of 6. And again, I'm reading newspaper. Guys, read the newspaper. And girls. The point I want to make, be informed, have a level of awareness, what's going on in life. And I'm reading newspaper. At the time, also not too much, internet was already existing. There's a lot of websites, but it's not still big part of our social life. 2009, we're talking about. And it says, kitchen business for sale. I'm like, okay, interesting. I start negotiating, and tough times, everybody closing doors. Like I said, 2008, 2009, banks are going out of business. Insurance company go out of business. Huge financial institutions. So imagine what's happening with small guys, mom and pop shops. If you're around at the time, you remember devastation. It's probably even worse than pandemic. And I'm start negotiating, and they're like 100,000. I'm like, what I'm buying? Oh, you're buying name, 16 years of reputation. You're buying books of business. You're buying showroom with displays. And I'm calculating all of this, and I'm like, how am I going to make money if I have to pay you 100,000? If I have to pay all expenses on it? And I'm like, no, I cannot do this. And it happens. So they were forced to shut down the showroom because they were not profitable for many years, many months. And they like, we're going to throw everything to the trash. Do you want it or not? I said, I have 2,000 cash on me. And literally, this is kind of my life savings, like 2,000 to just, I can give you 2,000 and I just buy whatever assets you have. They say, take it, because it's cheaper for us to give you and not take demolition costs, truck costs, take it to the garbage, and dispose it fees and so on. They just give it to me. And this is how I started. Get a U-Haul, get another helper, and we start dismounting those displays, the samples, and relocating to other facility. It was a big jump of faith, big leap of faith, thinking why they do not survive and how I gonna survive. Don't know anybody, don't know that business that well, because I've been general contractor who given, hiring subs and running crews. And now I have to do everything myself. And I figured it out. And some good people start coming my way and connected me with the right suppliers and so on and so forth. And we called it Europe Construction. Even Europe Construction is not proper grammar. This is why my story of broken English is kind of a threaded through all my life. Grandland Vision is not proper. Joy Painting is not proper. Europe Construction. But who cares about proper, not proper? We care about if it works or not, right? So, and it was, 2009, 2010, I got a license, general contractor license here. And the number is 942284. And now it's 6 digits numbers already. And this is the story of Europe Construction.
That's wild.
And later we opened a nicer showroom, and we start importing kitchens from Italy, Germany, Spain. We're a direct importer. Containers come pretty much every month, and we just sell this beautiful product and install it in the customers' homes, high-rise buildings, wealthy neighborhoods, middle class, everywhere in our county. We've done some out of county in San Francisco, Sacramento, Phoenix, Arizona. We've done a few projects. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that you do mostly high end. Is that what I kind of gather?
Medium. We do have really high end jobs, but our middle class. In middle class for San Diego, it's still high end for the
sure
majority. Yeah.
So you get this business for $2,000, and then you have where do you start? Like you don't know, like, business, but you don't know the area. You don't know the people that you're working with. You don't know, I don't know if they had employees. You don't know anything.
Anything.
Where do you even start?
So I was starting with marketing. And again, if you combine my years of education, I studied probably in 5 different universities and colleges, or 6 even, because I travel so much. I counted 18 times relocation through my life. 18 times we moved from different, always better. And I study, but I don't have a formal education, right? So I'm that kind of a uneducated business leader. But I always educate myself through reading, self-development. I spent $250,000 just go to different seminars and different events, coaching fees, and so on and so forth, just constantly pumping myself and grow personally, grow intellectually, grow, mentally. And I figured out marketing at the time was Craigslist was working for me. It was free marketing, Craigslist, and I posted my ads. I figured out how to offer very cheap kitchens. I basically work for the bowl of rice, pretty much. I'm like, just give me chance to do your project and earn some money. I'm gonna do excellent job. Just give me chance. And one time I make miscalculation. I broke even. I don't make any penny. But rest of them, I always profitable. And all my businesses I built, they will organically funded, so that I don't have any, cash investments or any investors or any loans, or don't borrow. I just organically grew step by step.
And how many businesses do you have today?
It's I consider this still one business. We call it Blazin Group.
But it looked like a portfolio, yeah.
Yeah, so a Blazin Group is kind of umbrella, right? And inside we have Europe Construction with hands and feet on the ground, boots on the ground. So they do excellent tile work, excellent kitchen work, full remodels pretty much. And we have a Casa, which is our interior design part. Our ladies, they drew beautiful 3D designs and deal with the customers and import those kitchen products from Europe. And I'm working on creating. It's already in motion. It's called corestudio.com, and it's kind of my hobby business. But a big revelation come to me a few years ago. I'm actually finishing my midlife crisis right now, so I'm almost 50.
I have that written down.
Yeah. So should I answer?
Yeah, of course. I'm 39, so I'm getting there soon.
So I'm 49, and at age of 44, I think for some younger guys, this will be very, very interesting moment. I build it, right? So I start traveling a lot for business, European, business trips very often, multiple times a year, go to different factories, meet with business owners, so kind of conventions, events, traveling over United States for business education, remodeling networks, remodeling, so and so. And I have enough money to take my wife on vacation separately, take whole families on vacation. So we start getting not lavish life, but little cocky, and I get complacent. What I mean, I had an extra 10,000, 20,000 in bank account, so I can do anything. And I kind of like, okay, I made it, and I stopped growing. I stopped caring. I stopped enjoying the business, right? And it was 44, 45 at the time, and I start dig deeper inside of me because I start making wrong choices, hang out with the wrong guys, invite them as a business partners, doing bad financial decisions. It's all start happening at once, like caving in at me. And I'm like, I'm still a good person. I'm still honest and caring and loving, but something happened. This dynamic changes, energy around me changes. I'm like, I'm in this dark, dark place. And for the 4 years up to now, 4.5 even, pandemic happened, bunch of business lawsuit happens, over $1 million in losses and expenses. Dark moment happens. And now, after all of this passes by, I'm figuring out that I have to go back to my spiritual roots and pastoral inheritance. I was in early years in the ministry for about 20 years. I finished Bible school. And now I want to give back to people on a large scale. So I want to raise a younger generation with mentality, not just business person, not just entrepreneur, but purpose-driven business owner. So I'm switching to e-learning online space, and I'm working on my own podcast. It's on development right now, writing a book, writing a course, coaching programs, working on some public speaking events. So this is kind of
For sure. When you turned 44 and you started to go through that hard time in your life, do you think it was a midlife crisis, or do you think it was more of you maybe just got complacent and you hung around the wrong people? You said, I think you mentioned you bought like fast cars, which I need to know, which one did you buy?
Yeah. So it was definitely a midlife crisis, I'm thinking, because I kind of lost happiness in what I was doing, and I'm start thinking, what am I gonna do next? My life is kind of in the middle. I'm kind of over this, 45, hump. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do next. I bought a AMG coupe for a Mercedes. Those very sexy looking one. They just arrived. The first model was 2017. When I saw this car on the street, this kind of sport SUV, but kind of this sexy body. And I saw this car. I'm like, it's so futuristic, and I fall in love with it. And it just car passed me by. I don't even see what brand is it, what model is it, and like I want this car. And then somehow I was able to get my first luxury car in this 2018. And then later, 2018, I bought a motorcycle. Just out of blue. I was never riding motorcycle, just in, when I was kids, small bikes here and there. But I just had this desire to fill some kind of a void, some kind of emptiness in me to satisfy me. So I guess it was pretty midlife crisis.
Yeah, sounds like it. So what was the first thing that made you realize there was a midlife crisis? Like, how can we avoid that?
I don't think we have to avoid this. I think we have to look toward it, and we have to be prepared. So awareness and knowledge. Read about this. Listen some podcasts on the subject. There is a lot of information just on YouTube. Because when I start hitting this, it's kind of like you're no longer at ease. You're no longer at rest, because I was smooth rider at age 45. I was like accomplishing so much. And then I hit some kind of a ceiling, and all of this start happening to me because I lost control of my thoughts and my vision and my plan. I did not have a plan at the time. Now, if you ask me, I have a 50-year business plan ahead of me. I have a 50-year business plan ahead of me. And when I share this with some people, they're like, dude,
you're gonna be 100.
It's rare. Most of the people don't plan this. For some reason, I do have the clear vision, clear purpose, and I'm just looking forward to it. Every day I wake up with expectation, this beautiful new day. I'm excited. I'm positive. I'm charging forward. Yeah, I will be 100. And if I make the 100, good. If not, I will have a legacy. I will have a trained people under me. So the vision will continue on, because that business I'm building right now, it's have a component of social impact. So it's not just business for profit only. It is profitable. It will be very profitable, but it will be influential more than profitable. So impact driven, legacy driven.
I love that. And I know you just recently started working on your health. Was that part of the 50-year business plan?
You're talking about health?
Yeah.
3 years ago, right after pandemic hit, we received this PPP money, spend it on employees. I got the invitation through computer, through social media, to attend. You probably know Weekend Warriors, this kind of a coaching events for men, right? To be tough and buff. Yep. And there is one on the East Coast, there's few on the West Coast. And it was a new startup called Rise Up Kings. Skylar Lewis is a leader of this movement. And they sold me on this. I signed up. I went through this life change experience weekend, and it shake me back to who I was. I kind of lost it. And they put us through hell, almost like Navy SEAL training, and we were not fit. Most of the guys was kind of in midlife middle age. They were like, regular guys. Some of them had some kind of boxing experience or gym experience, but most, yeah. And I was in a good shape because I'm playing soccer every Saturday and Sunday for 15 years. Both my sons went through the soccer academies and played for the good clubs. But point is, they shake me, and now I developed this morning routine, and I work on me for 3 years. Now I'm ready to teach. This is why I'm stepping up into mentorship, role model, and a coaching space, because I tested, I improved myself from the darkest moment in my life. It was like, if it's easy and you make it better, but if you so crash down and you build yourself up again, oh man, I have some kind of energy in me, so I can share a lot. Yeah,
That's incredible. When you live in the U.S., right, and you have capitalism, you come from a socialist, like, what is? I mean, a lot of us don't know what it's like to live somewhere else other than the United States. Like, I feel like we're just kind of pampered white boys, like, it's so easy in life. But then coming from a background like yourself, where it's mostly socialism, it's like they tell you like the life to follow, the path to get to wherever you're going to go. But when you stepped into capitalism, what did you think? What do you think now, looking back, like the difference between the two? Well, and I mean, everyone's moving to America. We talked about this yesterday. Like, most countries are trying to move here, and everyone bitches and complains about America, but yet they're still here. Go somewhere else if you don't want to live here.
Right. So,
Rant over.
Jonas, I need a minimal hour to 2 hours just to really contemplate. It's such a deep and big subject. It's so dear to my heart. I love history. I love philosophy. I like the political affairs. But in a nutshell, I would say there is really, really good and valuable things in communism, a really wonderful thing in socialism, and incredible, beautiful things in capitalism. But none of those systems are perfect. So there is a flaws in every system. So if I would be able to speak on the subject in a kind of a more general way, I would say we need to create a little new model, which I would call socially responsible capitalism. Okay, it's a deep thought. Let's leave it there. And let's go back to the normal discussion. Communism, socialism versus capitalism. Communism and socialism, they are collective-based social economic systems. Capitalism, it's individually based system, right? The biggest difference, it's rights and freedoms, which our Bill of Rights and our Constitution. I'm patriotic citizen of the United States, so I'm speaking from United States hearts. I'm really deep, and I love my country. And this country gave me in 1 year more than my country for previous 26 years when I lived there. So I would say the opportunity is incredible here. Anything you can touch, it can be Midas touch. Anything you can do, Pest Control Millionaire, Roofing Millionaire, Window Millionaire, anything we touch with a good attitude and good mindset, it's going to be success. You just have to have a right training, right mentorship, coaching, right leadership. Like, Jonas, I appreciate what you do for your tribe, for your people, for your group who follows you. It's fantastic. So keep on doing, keep on sharing this valuable knowledge. And I heard few of your podcasts just preparing for the just enjoy Mr. Webb.
He's from Alaska too.
Yeah. So I just listened to a few guys.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So we have so much to talk. Maybe we can do another kind of a more detailed.
We're gonna have to do like a second episode.
Yeah,
like we're an hour and 20 minutes in, and we're just getting good.
Yeah. So there's so much more.
Let's switch gears, because we'll come back to this in another podcast. I'd love to hear everything that you have to talk about with socialism, capitalism, communism, and talk about that. Because, like I follow Patrick Bet-David really closely.
Yeah.
He's from Iran. And he came from Iran, similar story. And look what he's done. It's absolutely incredible. He talks about capitalism every single day.
Yes, sir.
Let's switch to your book. Let's talk about that. I know it's not out there yet.
It's not out yet. Yeah,
but it's going to be soon, right?
Yeah. So the projection is about 90 days. So it's an outline and some chapter creative mapping. But I have the book. I am the book. So I just need to extract it out of me. So most of us have this knowledge and have the book. We just need to figure out proper ways to extract it. And being me, in the last 3 months, when I was start really heavily investing in this new e-learning space, I interview probably 120 different agencies and business owners in this space just to figure out how this puzzle works, because it sounds so easy when you're on this side of the screen, right? But when you're on the other side of the screen, how to create, how to connect it. So, and I compliment you for 58 episodes, consistency. It's fantastic. Bravo.
Appreciate it.
Sofia and Dalton, to our engineers and videographers who help with this. I appreciate you all. So it's fantastic to have this commitment. Yeah, book. It will be story similar to what I'm just sharing, from broken English to American dream. I will be talking about young family who came with $1,500 cash, and now we live in the best neighborhood, kind of Beverly Hills of Los Angeles. We live in Rancho Santa Fe of San Diego, driving nice cars, eating good food, kids going to great schools, safe, clean. There's a lot of social unrest. There is a lot of diversity in our country, but we can overcome this. It's all political. It's all old leadership mindset is no longer capable to give us answers. And I believe for the younger generations, our guys, we have to come up and start changing one person at a time, one mindset at a time, one family at a time, and make our country about us. We are the people. And we put the government in charge. They're not there to rule us. They're there to serve us. So I believe that if we're doing this right, one person at a time, one business leader at a time, we can change dynamic in our beautiful, beautiful country of United States. So my book will be threaded to that. So basically, I will be talking about social impact by changing one person mindset from regular employee, regular student, or homestaying person, or just even person without job. If we change this person mindset and make him like what you, John, is doing, make him better business leader with purpose-driven mindset, purpose-driven business leader, and teach him to be self-motivated, self-educated, self-disciplined, and very important, self-governed. Self-government, this is the key of success and solution to our society, not in the United States only, but globally, because there's huge social unrest brewing in every country, in Russia, Ukraine, and what we see in Israel. There is unrest in China, in Turkey. I was in Turkey and Greece, so this is Parthenon right there. So I talk with average people, and there's unrest. People are no longer capable to survive under old leadership and old management mindset. So there is time of revolution, and I'm talking about revolution of mindset, revolution of awakening, revolution of awareness, and we demanding new leadership. The old secret society's leadership is no longer suited for us. So we demanding something new, something really genuine, honest, authentic, true to the nature of leadership.
Yeah, I love that. And it's like, and I always ask like myself, like, how can I help? Like, it's a question a lot of people ask, like, how can we help? Like, but like you said, it's just changing one person at a time.
Exactly. So I will lay out this system. So if we're gonna stay in touch, like
Absolutely.
buddies and friends, I have the system. This is why I'm telling you, I have 50-year plan. I'm not kidding by any means. All my life was shifted when I went through this midlife crisis. Now I clearly see what I'm going to do in 3 years, in 5 years, 15 years, and what I do in 50 years if I'm still around, which I hope so. I hope I will be around in another 50 years because I have so much to do. And it just for benefit, for benefit of our humanity, our human race, and our earth and entire universe. So I just have to stick around for a while to make
That's
some
awesome.
changes.
What is your 5-year goals?
So 5-year goals, we will be testing this vision. It's actually a social impact movement. We will be testing it very deeply in United States through different forms of webinars, seminars, meeting in person, coaching, so on and so forth. I will start this international trade school. That's one of the name come to my mind. So basically, we will be teaching younger generation. Like I said, I have 4 children. The youngest is 17, finishing high school. She's senior, and the rest of them in universities, colleges. One is oldest is married already. I know their need. I know how they confused. I hear them. And the social media, when I look in the social media, what's happening, they more confused day by day because all of these ads, if you're 19 and you're not driving Lamborghini, something wrong with you. You're a loser. You are not fit for this life.
Yeah, they think there's a cheat code, like it's overnight success. It's not like that. It's all fake.
Yes, sir.
Everything you see is fake.
And now there is really intriguing fake. So all of this we're talking about, it's ideology. It's either political driven or economical driven. So this is why the pure capitalism is evil, because it's only profit over people, right? So this is why social responsible capitalism, this is the answer to that kind of situation. But the point is, I want to change life one person at a time, equip them. In 5 years, we're going to have this pretty much in every state. We're going to have some kind of a hub or facility training, starting with your mindset, with your attitude, really deep scan of your DNA. And I'm talking about not only body DNA of your soul, DNA of your spirit, DNA of your identity, to find where's your passion and purpose crossing, right? When this passion and purpose crossing, there is energy released, right? And when we're going to spend a lot of time to build the people up, very strong mentally. So one of my motto, and I have a multiple training system already. One of them is stay fit mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. So 4 discipline, 4 topics, and it's kind of a nutshell, but I want to build whole person, right? To give them equipment, how to be better dad, better mama, how to be better business owner, how to be better socially influenced person, how to be betterly educated for all topics of life. And when we test this 5 years in the United States, I think in 5 years, we're also going to start doing Canada and Mexico. So I want to try more on a social country and on developing country, the system of we're creating. And then when the formula is completely formed, I'm talking with some investors already, and there is money coming for this project. We're gonna create network of community, like an app and a software. So it's gonna be like a group. When we're gonna create this network, and each individual business owner become like a unit economy. So everybody, think of old days when we had a king ruling the territory, right? The lord of the land, right? And there is the smaller owners of the land, right? Land owners, and they have their own mini army. They have so basically there was system of cell, right? Our bodies has cell phone signal has cell, right? Cells. And we're going to have cell of individual business leaders, purpose driven, for the common good of humanity, responsible how we do business, how we use resources, how we use the water and air. So it's not going to be pure economy driven that give me more money, give me more money. No, it's going to be balanced. So basically, if you develop a whole person, his attitude toward money is changing. His attitude toward customers is changing. Toward his competitors is changing. Toward his suppliers is changing. So it's a very delicate, spiritually and intellectually developed process, but it's exactly what has to happen. One person at a time, and it's going to be chain of reaction, because each person in this network will be also coach, will be also leader, business and spiritual and mental leader of thought leader, right? And they will be influencing their family, their friends, their neighborhood, maybe village, maybe city, maybe country, right? It's all going to develop based on a capacity each business leader will have. But I clearly see it's a game of business, but it's on a different level. It's a grassroots business. It's coming from within us first, and it's coming from beneath us, and it's slowly growing. Like yesterday, I was asked by one of my PR people. They said, "Sergiy, give me a vision for 50 years." I said, "Look at the acorn. You see the acorn?" And I see huge, humongous oak tree, 50-year-old. So we need to plant this little seed. We have to water it, maintain it, put nutrition, right proper amount of sun and warmth, and we're going to see one branch, another branch, and we're going to see the mighty tree will develop in the 50 years. So it will be all organic. It will be all purpose driven. It's not going to be money driven. It's going to be purpose driven. And this is where energy is. This is where is a change happening. When you have a purpose and passion meet, you can't sleep. Last week, I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 a.m. I used to wake up 3 and 4. Now I'm waking up at 1 because I have so much in me. So I owe it to humanity to give it back. So thank you, Jonas, being first podcast host who opened the doors. I reach out to 100 podcast hosts just through emails, nothing personal yet. And through Dalton, he connected us because I was doing deep research about videos and podcasts and this and that. And he said, "Oh, I think you can be great for Jonas." And here we go. We're talking, and we on something.
Yeah, I find it interesting because like a lot of young entrepreneurs, they're obviously going to be money driven. Then they get to that point in their life where they have success, they have money in the bank, they're not as driven. But then he said the next thing you're passionate, and you're passion driven, which is way higher purpose than money. And when you find that passion and that purpose, the money just coincides.
Money follows. Absolutely. Money grow when you grow, right? When you as a person grow. And some people get weird. They stay midgets and dwarfs spiritually and intellectually, but somehow they manage to get money, right? And those are very stinky combination. So for me, money is like magnify glass. So if you're a jerk, if you're evil human, right? If you're really dumb, right? And you get a lot of money, your dumbness, your stupidity gonna explode. And if you're good, genuine soul, and this is what we're talking about, in our program, we'll be developing whole concept of human being, all identities, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial. So that person can move the mountains and be true to his character, true to his culture, true to his morals and ethics. And this is a powerful thing. Nobody can stop it. So self-government, it's a key element of our growth and development and ability to survive. I just look at the picture this morning, 1930, thousands of men standing in line waiting for, it's a Great Depression, and they waiting in line to get some kind of a job, some kind of opportunity to work. And I look into this river of mighty men. They so humbled by circumstances. And I also see some pictures, I probably you saw too, people standing for the soup on the streets of the big cities. So basically, we lost the control of our life. It used to be you go and hunt, you go and fish, you go and collect and gather, right? You do farming or you something. You can grow your food to sustain and be free and be proud. Farming, right? And now we kind of dependent. So I'm calling out to this movement of awakening, revolution, and awareness where we are in the historical moment. The top leadership is not capable to manage, and we see this happening. Huge war going on in Russia and Ukraine. 500,000 people dead in this 20 months. 500,000 dead and few millions completely injured. Tens of millions relocated and morally distressed. Entire country is under bombing right now. It's kind of like you watch old movie of World War One, World War Two. The people lives right now. We sitting here in the comfort of our homes, and they right now every day have a sirens and the real bombs and real shells coming at them at a rate nobody knows. There is big bombs, there is huge, there is small, there is little drones deliver something, and this how people live in the middle of Europe, because Ukraine is a part of Europe, Eastern Europe, but it's still a European country. And none of the mighty leaders can step up and say, hey, stop this bullshit, stop this genocide, brother killing brother. I'm half Russian, half Ukrainian. I can speak on this subject. So I've been called out on I was leading rallies. I was leading demonstrations for when the war broke out. So,
do you still have family there?
Yes. My mom and my dad, they live right on the border. Right, they say the shells fly like mail delivered to your mailbox. So it's normal. Like,
how often are you in contact with them?
Every week for sure. Yeah, every week for sure. Most of the every day. But they had the visas, they had the passports, they had the cash on hand. They can buy tickets and be with us anytime. They just said, this is our land. We're going to stay there. We're going to live there. And it's our choice. And I cannot change it. So it's very hard on me. And then my sister lives also here in San Diego, in the next town. It's hard on us because grandkids are here. So sorry to step into this.
No, it's all good. I appreciate it. It just shows your true, authentic self. Because there's a lot of stuff that we see on the news. You said read the newspapers, but there's a lot of stuff that we see on the war that's going on over there with Russia and Ukraine. A lot of stuff that may be true, may not be true. Like, the things that they showed about them bombing the hospital, but actually wasn't the hospital. Like, what are your thoughts around it?
So the hospital was a part of the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. So Hamas and Israel, but it's not a Russia and Ukraine war, but it's a similar war. It's a big war right now. There's thousands of people dead. It's also sign. Okay, both of these wars, right? It's a sign of weak leadership, I would say. So there is a strength of dictators who is trying to come out of the woodworks, and the force of free Western world is a little bit weaker than it should be. There is not enough resistance, and this is why this dictatorship mindset is trying to see how far they can go, how far they can probe and take the land, how and take the resources and take dominion. That's why I'm saying it's a bigger awakening in the global scale going on. So and we're part of it. So we'll be excited about this. We are part of it. It's our challenge. If we're born for the time like this, we are created for this capacity. We are capable to deal with it. So we're gonna see the big changes, one step at a time, one person at a time, one mindset at a time.
Yeah. So you're a very successful entrepreneur. For the people that are just coming up that are listening, what's one really good piece of advice that you give them?
Be so true to yourself, like kind of like scan it, x-ray to the depths of your soul, who you really are. Find the energy from within, right? If you believe in God or some form of religion or spirituality, find alignment, find guidance from there. Have this anchor, have this roots, have this core, because storms will come, problems will come, lawsuits, devastation, betrayals from trusted friends and employees. A lot of dirty stuff can happen. I'm not saying it will, but it's probably will. It's part of our it will. So just be true to yourself, be authentic to yourself, and find this energy to ride upon without anybody around you. That's why I'm saying self-motivated, self-disciplined, self-governed, self-educated. Very important to develop yourself first before you develop business, and business will follow. So this is kind of my core advice.
And I always ask this, like usually the last question: what are you most proud of at this point in your life?
I guess my family. So it's a backbone of my success. My beautiful, smart, creative wife. Together with God's help, created 4 beautiful children. Now we have 3 dogs. It's also a big part of family. I was missing out on the pets all my life, but now my kids introduce us to those pets, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they're so cute, so adorable. So I think I'm proud of building family, and yeah,
When's the Core Nation podcast going to be launched?
probably middle of December. I start to push it, but before the big holidays. Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Excited to
Yeah,
watch your journey.
no, I already asked your word for it. You will be
Absolutely.
one of the first.
Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to help support you, I'm here for you, man.
Yeah. So
cool. Well, again, I know we ran over time by a half hour, but we're good. Like we could probably talk for the next 6 hours. So we're gonna have to do an episode 2 to dive a little bit deeper, like see where you're at.
Yeah. So there's so much on my list to talk and to share. So I'm honored. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity, chance to be a part of your success, to be a part of your movement, and contributing to listeners and viewers. So God bless, good luck, and happy Thanksgiving. Oh, tomorrow.
You as well.
I don't know when you're going to rrelease this episode, but
well, it'll release next Tuesday, but today is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. But Sergiy, like you're a prime example of the entrepreneur that we all want to learn from. Like you've been there, you've done it, you've done massive things, and we all need to learn from people who are ahead of us. So it's fun to sit down and learn, continue learning, not just for myself, but to all the listeners too. And, everything that you've been through, we've all been through some stuff, but not typically a story like this. So it's very, very impressive where you've came from and what you've done today. It's really unheard of.
Thank you very much. It's just part of my story. Each of us will write in a book of life. It's your personal book of life. Nobody else can write it for you. You are the author. You are the main hero. You are the B-roll. You are you are back vocal. You are front vocal. You are the book of your life. So write it the way you want it.
I don't know if you've ever thought about this in this perspective, but think of all of the podcasts that you're going to do, all the YouTube that you're going to do, all the short form, the long form. Think of how much content your kids and your grandkids and their grandkids will have when you pass away. Like they can see your book live and in person. They'll know exactly what we were thinking during these periods of life. Like it's so important to me.
Yes. So this is another selfish reason we're doing this online stuff,
sure.
Right? But I mean, it's not selfish. I think it's needed. And if you have something to say it. And I believe everybody has something to say. So that's why we need to raise our voices and deliver the messages which inside of us. First, be humble enough to kind of go through some filtration. Don't just be boastful. Oh, everybody's talking and I will be talking. No, you need to know what you're supposed to talk about, what is part of your identity, and you can really deliver something. So, but it's good. What we're doing, we're creating a legacy. Right now, we're doing step by step, we're creating a legacy of influence and impact.
It's awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time here, and it was an honor to spend the last hour and a half with you.
And my pleasure, my privilege, and I'm so blessed and feel so good about this very nice conversation and very good chat and good energy to be released for everybody. And happy preparation for Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year, any other holidays you celebrated. Be cheerful, be happy, and take care of yourself and take care of people around you.
God bless. You as well. And like I said, it's like I gained another friend, which is super awesome.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. See you.
Bye-bye.